Great, dance class, we pray. Om Vasudevam Sudam Devam Kamsachaturnamardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatguru Om Dakshe Vade Devi Akshare Brahma Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimani Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat Om Bhurbhuvah Svah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimani Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat Om Triambakam Yajamane Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarubhivarvanam Mrityurmukshigamamritam Om Prithvi Twayadritamokam Deviham Vishnunavritam Kamshadayamanadevi Pavitram Puruchasanam Om Shri Vishnu Mata Namaha Om Apavitra Kavitoma Sarvashkangato Diva Yasmare Kodai Kaksha Samaya Kutam Rusushi Sapyami Sinaye Namah Om Amitopatra Namaski Swaha Om Anantapira Namaski Swaha Om Chaitanya Shri Shri Mai Shri Ram Swaha No, I didn't. Om Bhavame Ase Astu Bhotapis Om Naswame Prano Astu Bhotat Om Achune Chashkar Astu Bhotat Om Jagya Vishnu Kurmastu Bhotat Om Bhavone Nam Astu Bhotat Om Bhavone Ojo Astu Bhotat Om Archanu Yangan Om Hari Om Swasti Na Indro Vridashva Swasti Na Pushpa Vishwa Deva Swasti Raksarato Arshalamehi Swasti No Brahspati Hadatu Om Haya Pratijam Haya Ushadeshu Ayodhyaram Kukshesh Ayodha Eswati Pradesha Santumayam Om Vishnu Rakamasi Vishnu Snapatresto Vishnu Surasti Vishnu Bhosi Vishnu Yasti Vishnu Veda Om Adhir Devata Vato Devata Suryo Devata Chandrama Devata Basu Devata Rudra Devata Aditya Devata Maruto Devata Vishnu Deva Devata Banaspati Devata Indro Devata Varno Devata Om Yam Shanti Antariksham Shanti Prithvi Shanti Rapa Shanti Koshadeva Shanti Vanaspati Shanti Ishwadeva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvam Shanti Shanti Reva Shanti Sama शांति ओम विश्वानि देवा सर्वकर्मकानि परासुवा यद्भद्रं तनुवासु ओम शुक्लं वरदं देवं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये ओम सदानन्दमय तमसमाज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मा अमृतंगमय ओम शांति शांति शांति. The flowers in hand, we'll just do our first worship with Lord Ganesh, Baba Gandhi. Sorry, I'm a little bit ahead of myself today. We ask Mother Earth for her applications. Om Prithvi Twayadita Loka Devi Om Vishnu Nadita Tvam Shidaraya Manadevi Aditram Kuncha Asaram Shripati Mata Tujay Sharanam Matam. The fast class we pray to Baba Ganesh, the Valley. Om Vakratana Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarva Kareshu Sarvada Om Gajananam Bhutanadhisevitam Kapita Jambu Vasar Vakshanam Umasritam Shubhadanatakarakam Namami Vigneshwar Parapankajam Om Airam Gomesha Sutram Samasta Vignodha Vinasa Daksha Mangalya Puja Pratam Pradhanam Pradhanam Pujam Bhagavam Namaste Om Sarva Manga Mange Shri Sarva Artha Sadhike Sharane Premake Gauri Narayani Namostute Lord Ganesh.
जय गणेश देव माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेव जय गणेश देव माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेव लडुअन का भोग लगे संत कर सेवा लडुअन का भोग लगे संत कर सेवा लडुअन का भोग लगे संत कर सेवा गणपति देवा जय गणेश देवा माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा एक दंत दयावंत चार भुजधारी एक दंत दयावंत चार भुजधारी माथ पे सिंदूर सोहे भूस की सवारी दुखियों के दुख हरत परमानंद देवा गणपति देवा जय गणेश देवा माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा अंदर को आग देते कुरियन को खाया अंदर को आग देते कुरियन को खाया पंचम का पोच देते निर्धन को माया पौष पार करो नाथ भजन करो तेरा गणपति देवा जय गणेश देवा माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा जो तेरा ज्ञान तेरे ज्ञान मिले उसको, जो तेरा ज्ञान तेरे ज्ञान मिले उसको, छोड़ तुझे और फल जाओ मैं किसी को। हे देवा कृपा करो कष्ट हरो मेरा, गणपति देवा गणपति देवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। पान चढ़े फूल चढ़े हर चढ़े मेवा, पान चढ़े फूल चढ़े हर चढ़े मेवा। सदवन का भोग लगे संत करे सेवा, गणपति देवा गणपति देवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। जय गणेश जय गणेश जय गणेश देवा। माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा। माता जाकी पार्वती पिता महादेवा।
जय गणपति सदा गणसदम् कविवार भजन कृपा, विघ्नहरं मंगलकरं जय जय गिरिजाराम। ओम दक्ष गणेशाय देवी स्वस्तिनाथ परमेश्वरी, अहं पूजा करिष्यामि त्वं सदा सम्मुखो। श्री गणेशाय देवी की जय, शरणं भूतोहि। Now brings us to our Mother Lakshmi worship. We ask her to bring prosperity, but also to be the light to guide you in the dark wherever you are lost. With hands clasped in prayer. Om Namaste Astu Mahamaya Shriti Sadhusate Sankasasya Jadavase Mahalakshmi Namostate. Om Shri
लक्ष्मी मैया उतारो तेरी आरती, बरसा दो माँ कृपा। लक्ष्मी मैया उतारो तेरी आरती, बरसा दो माँ कृपा। वाली सूरी सूरी जगोपाले, आनंद देवे वाली सूरी सूरी जगोपाले। दया से तेरी हम सब जीवे सुखों तू संभाले, दया से तेरी हम सब जीवे सुखों तू संभाले। लक्ष्मी मैया उतारो तेरी आरती, बरसा दो माँ कृपा। तेरे भक्ति जगती जगते मुझे न करे बंधन, तेरे भक्ति जगती जगते मुझे न करे बंधन। परमेश्वर को मानो सबके बंधन, हर शक्ति परमेश्वर को मानो सबके बंधन। मैया उतारो तेरी आरती, प्रेम सती चलाते मैया आरती से उतारे प्रेम सती चलाते मैया आरती से उतारे देश ज्योति कष्टहारी नरलेखा अंधियारी देश ज्योति कष्टहारी नरलेखा अंधियारी लक्ष्मी मैया उतारो तेरी आरती बरसातो माँ शरण तिहारी आए मैया मंगल तीरथ आए शरण तिहारी आए मैया मंगल तीरथ आए हाथ जोड़ विनती कर शरण शीश झुकावे हाथ जोड़ विनती करके शरण शीश झुकावे लक्ष्मी मैया उतारो तेरी आरती बरसातो माती लक्ष्मी मैया उतारो तेरी आरती बरसातो माती बरसातो माती बरसातो माती
Om Matu Lakshmi Kare Kripa Karori Meva Manokamana Siddhi Kari Purvahu Meya Trahi Trahi Dukhaharani Karo Bhege Savitras Jayati Jayati Jay Lakshmi Kari Sakunakana Mahalakshmi Namasturyam Namasturyam Sareshwari Haripriye Namasturyam Namasturyam Dayari Principal Sri Lakshmi Mata Ki Jai Sharanam Mata. Now brings us to the Navgraha, but before we go into that, we ask the Navgraha to bestow their benefic grace upon the following members here of the Voice of Dharma Temple: Miss Anjani Rampal, Miss Ramrati Srigovind, Mr. James Prekipal, Miss Sahade James, Mr. Balachan Gulcharan, Mr. Rafiq Chowdhury, Mr. Manesar Bahudhan, Miss Mary Manbahal, Mr. Len Lakshmana, Miss Eileen Lochan, Miss Rawati Parasram, Mr. Roy Namaram Shah, Mr. Vijay Prasad, and Miss Neela Devi Prasad. Well, I did the list without messing up for once. So we ask the Navgraha to bestow their benefic grace upon the following members and to any other people out there that require the Navgraha's blessings. Oh, yeah, that's right. Om Brahma Murari Shaparantakari Manu Shashi Bhumi Sato Budhasya Vibhusha Shukla Shriram Ketu Savira Shantara Vantu Prince of Shri Ravana Devaki Jai Sharanam Now brings us to our worship of Lord Vishnu, our Bhagwan Vishnu. We ask Bhagwan Vishnu to bestow benevolence, love, and compassion to our congregation and to everyone watching online. With hands clasped in prayer. Om Shashanka Chakram Sakirita Kundalam Sakirita Vasram Sarasena Rakshanam Sahara Vaksha Sarutastubhasayam Namami Vishnu Chapurmujam Om Mukam Karajum Vachalam Angam Ganganayate Giri Yatra Kautamaham Vande Karmananda Madhavam Om Nilam Bhujra Shamala Komalandam Sita Samaro Pintavam Bhadam Paramahasayaka Shanshapam Ramani Ramam Raghuvam Sanatam Om Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunataya Nataya Sitaye Pataye Coffee is over there, but alright, Sean to be singing all the clips.
Sean?
Hey, Krishna Gopal Hari, Hey, Deen Dayal Hari, Hey, Krishna Gopal Hari, Hey, Deen Dayal Krishna Gopal Hari, Nanda Ke Lal Hari. Om Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Sananti Jade Sabe Vede Sankada Pramupanishade Vayanti Yam Samada Jnana Vasishta Targate Namanasa Ashyanti Yam Yogino Yaskaratanga Virusara Sudana Devaye Tasme Namaha Om Kaina Vacha Manasindriyirva Buddhyatmanava Prakriti Sabhavat Karom Yadya Sakalam Varasme Narayen Yayeti Samayatyamu Krishna Shri Vishnu Bhagavan Ki Jai Sharanam Prabhu. With flowers in hand, this brings us to our next worship of Lord Shiva, Adiyogi. He teaches us union of mind, body, and soul. So we ask him to bestow that gift to us so that we can live in blissful yoga. With hands clasped in prayer. Om Pashunam Patim Papanasham Paresham Gajendra Sekritam Vasanam Varenyam Jatajutamade Svararagangavaram Mahadevametam Smarami Smararam Manisham Suresham Suraratinasham Vibhum Vishwanatam Vibhutyangabhusham Virupakshamandardavani Pranetram Sadanandamine Prabhu Panchavakram Garisham Ganesham Ganehilavarnam Gajandravirudam Gunatita-rupam Bhavam Bhasvaram Bhasvarabhushitangam Bhavani Kalatam Madhe Panchabhadram Shivakanta Shambho Shashankardanure Maheshana Shule Jatajuthadare Ameko Jagatvyapado Vishwarupa Prasiram Prasiram Prabhu Purnarupam Namaste Namaste Vibhu Vishwamurte Namaste Namaste Chidanandamurte Namaste Namaste Dhamyodhamya Namaste Namaste Jyotidanandamya Prabhu Shulapani Vibhu Vishwanatha Mahadeva Shambho Mahesha Tranetra Shivakanta Shanta Smarare Murare Vadanyo Varanyo Namayo Navanya Om Ramyam Shishobhanam Sarvasyatyatkaram Shubham Asanam Cha Maya Dhattam Granam Parameshwaram Om Namaste Niragrirvaya Shashakashaktumne Dushe Atyoye Asya Santavano Ante Dyotaram Namaha Om Trayambakam Yajame Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarokmiva Bandhanam Mrityormokshiyamamritat Om Varisvatam Masi Om Varisvatam Vasarjajanisto Om Varisvaritsadanyasi Om Varisvaritsadanmasi Om Varisvaritsadanmasiram Om Goksharadamam Deveshe Goksharamayitram Snapanam Deva Deveshe Vedana Shiva Shankaram Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
सुबह सुभाले शिव का नाम करे बंदे शुभ काम सुबह सुभाले शिव का नाम शिव आएंगे तेरे काम सुबह सुभाले शिव का नाम कर ले बंदे ये शुभ काम सुबह सुभाले शिव का नाम कर ले बंदे ये शुभ काम सुबह सुभाले शिव का नाम शिव आएंगे तेरे काम सुबह सुभाले शिव का नाम Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah फिरते औरों को देखे गंगा तुझको रख लपेटे फिरते औरों को देखे गंगा देवों के हित फिर आया नीलकंठ को कोटि प्रणाम नीलकंठ को कोटि प्रणाम सुबह सुभाले शिव का नाम शिव आएंगे तेरे काम सुबह सुभाले शिव का नाम कर ले बंदे शुभ काम ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय शिव के चरणों में मिलते हैं सारी तीरथ चारों धाम शिव के चरणों में मिलते हैं सारी तीरथ चारों धाम करनी के सुख तेरे हाथों शिव के हाथों के परिणाम शिव के हाथों में परिणाम सुबह सुभाले शिव का नाम शिव आएंगे देखा सुबह सुबह रे शिव का नाम कर ले बंदे ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय शिव के रहते ऐसी चिंता साथ रहे प्रभु आपको याद शिव के रहते ऐसी चिंता साथ रहे प्रभु आपको याद शिव को बदले सुख आएगा मैं तो आएगा मैं तो आएगा सुबह सुबह रे शिव का नाम शिव आएंगे देखा सुबह सुबह रे शिव का नाम कर ले बंदे ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः
You guys act like I caught you off guard or something. We do this every week.
Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Har Har Bhole Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om
सहचरा प्राणशरीरं गृहं पूजते विषयोपभोगरचना निद्रा समाधिष्ठति सञ्चारं परयो प्रदक्षिणभिः स्तोत्राणि सर्वगिरो यज्ञकर्म करोमि तदगतिलम् शम्भो तारायणम् करचरणकृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनं वा मानसं वा अपराधं विहितं अहितं वा सर्वमेतत् क्षमस्व जय जय करुणामये श्रीमहादेव शम्भो श्रीमहादेव शम्भो। प्रिंसिपल श्री शिव शंकर भगवान की जय। Krishna offerings, you know everything.
तू शबरी जैसी भक्ति पर प्रभु राम तेरे घर आएंगे। सच्चा है तेरा प्रेम अगर खुद आकर दर्श दिखाएंगे। ऐसे है मेरे राम, ऐसे है मेरे राम, ऐसे है मेरे राम, ऐसे है मेरे राम। तू शबरी जैसी भक्ति पर प्रभु राम तेरे घर आएंगे। सारी तेरा प्रेम कर खुद आकर दर्श दिखाएंगे। ऐसे है मेरे राम, ऐसे है मेरे राम, ऐसे है मेरे राम, ऐसे है मेरे राम। तू शबरी जैसी भक्ति पर प्रभु राम तेरे घर आएंगे। सारे तेरा प्रेम कर खुद आकर दर्श दिखाएंगे। ऐसे है मेरे राम, ऐसे है मेरे राम, ऐसे है मेरे राम, ऐसे है मेरे राम। मन को करने ऐसे निर्बल जैसा ही पावन काज। मन को करने ऐसे निर्बल जैसे पावन है काज। जो बजना मारा हर पल की याद नहीं तो कृपा करेंगे परमेश्वर तुझ पे करुणा बरसाएंगे। कृपा करेंगे परमेश्वर तुझ पे करुणा बरसाएंगे। ऐसे है मेरे राम, ऐसे है मेरे राम, ऐसे है मेरे राम, ऐसे है मेरे राम। सुनने पर आप पुकार प्रभु आएंगे तेरे द्वार प्रभु। तेरे पापों पर द्वार प्रभु अपने हाथों पे मिलेगा। उसी चरणों पे झुक जाना, वो झुक कर तुझे उठाएंगे। ऐसे है मेरे राम, ऐसे है मेरे राम, ऐसे है मेरे राम, ऐसे है मेरे राम। तू शबरी जैसी धरती पर प्रभु राम तेरे घर आएंगे। सच्चा है तेरा प्रेम खुद आकर दर्श दिखाएंगे। ऐसे है मेरे राम, 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 ऐसे है मेरे राम।
जय भोला भंडारी सदाया, जय भोला भंडारी, जय भोला भजमन नारायण का नाम, 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 भजमन नारायण का नाम,
भजमन नारायण का नाम, भजमन नारायण का नाम,
भजमन नारायण का नाम, भजमन नारायण का नाम,
भजमन नारायण का नाम, भजमन नारायण का नाम,
भजमन नारायण का नाम, भजमन नारायण का नाम,
भजमन नारायण का नाम, भजमन नारायण का नाम,
हरि संहारे
Om Tejas Mohi Om Ojase Mohi Dehi Om Manyasi Mani Mohi Dehi Om Sahasi Mohi Dehi Om Shanti 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 Om Brahma Agram Brahma Hare Brahmana Agam Brahmana Budam Brahmameva Tena Jityavam Brahmana Karma Samadhina Om Tat Sat Hari Om.
इस द्वारे तू आजा प्राणी सुखा के पार ओ इस द्वारे तू आजा प्राणी सुखा के पार ओ शीश झुका के मन कर दे गिरधर स्वामी को पुकार ओ ये मांगे एक नहीं सौ बातें पिया जिसका प्यार अपने प्रभु के ओ पिया जिसका प्यार अपने प्रभु के ओ जिसका प्यार बन गया तुम्हारी जय हो यही से सबको नया साथी रे प्यार भरी वाणी रे
Have you any other fear she could sing? Lila. Okay, go ahead. You need everybody other fear she to this?
The hands clasped in prayers. Loka viram ranrangadhiram Rajiv netram raghuvam shanatham Karunya rupam karnakarantam Shri Ramachandram Sharanam Prapajye Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Karpura Gauram Karnavataram Samsarasaram Bhutgengaharam Sada Vasantam Hridayarvinde Bhavam Bhani Sahitam Namami Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Manushya Dhamma Suraduralabha Prasanniga Sadam Dhamma Moksha Karvara Bhai Mujhe Para Lok Samara Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Jai Rama
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Om Satchidananda Rupaya Vishvotapatya Hetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayum Namah. Mata cha Parvati Devi Pita Devo Maheshwara Bandhava Shiva Bhaktascha Swadesho Bhuvanatrayam Yaratara Yatha Tatha Tathaiva Krishna Satkatha Maya Sadaiva Giyatam Tatha Kripa Vidhiyatam Vinadare Vipulamangaladana Shile Bhaktartinashni Viranchi Harisha Vande Kirti Prade Akhila Manoratha De Mahare Vidya Pradayani Saraswati Naumi Nityam Dhyanamoolam Guru Murti Pujamulam Guru Param Mantramoolam Guru Vakyam Mokshamulam Guru Kripa Brahmanandam Paramasukharam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadrisham Tattvamasyadi Lakshayam Om Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvara Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurutam Namami Sadgurutam Namami Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatparam Darsitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. A few verses Ramayana mantra. Varnanam Artha Sanghanam Rasanam Chanda Samapi Mangalanam Cha Kartaram Vande Vani Vinayakam Bhavani Shankara Vande Shraddha Vishwasvarupinam Yabhyam Vinana Pashyanti Siddha Swantah Stamishwaram Vande Bodhamayam Nityam Gurum Shankara Rupinam Yamasratohi Vakropi Chandra Sarvatra Vandyate Sita Rama Gunarama Punyaharnya Viharinam Vande Vishuddha Vijnanam Kavishwara Kapishwara Kavishwara Kapishwara Hari Om Shanti 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 Hari Bhakti-Sajano, on behalf of the Voice of Dharma Temple, I'd like to extend sincere swagat to you and everyone who is here. So may our the Voice of Dharma Temple की ओर से हम आप सबका स्वागत करते हैं और आप सब इस मंदिर में मैं आप सबको मेरा धन्यवाद कहता हूँ. So sincere thanks for coming to temple. Today I want to talk about a couple of things. I think as we look across the world, a lot of things is happening. This is actually graduation season for many places. So I like to look at what's happening in the world because I like to make that part of my katha. My katha is actually, it lives with this world, right? Whatever we're doing, it must be in the time we live in. It must be for the circumstance that surrounds us. And we apply the scripture to it because the scripture is the ordinance. In the Bhagavad Gita chapter 16, I think it is, Bhagavan Krishna is telling Arjuna, the scripture is the ordinance. You have to find ways to apply it to suit the times that you live in and the conditions that surround you. So we can't apply things that we know today to an ancient time, right? Or what happened in an ancient time, we can't apply it today. But there are certain, what I like to call guardrails, so to speak, that we need to conduct our life by. These guardrails are eternal. These guardrails do not change with time. They set the structures upon which life must function and upon which life must follow. So today I want to talk about some of these things. I've been listening to a lot of graduation speeches. They call them commencement speeches. Different people going out, they're invited to some of the graduation ceremonies. And these are at very large universities and so on, right? So we all know what has been going on campuses over the past couple of months. My point is not that. I want to look at a couple of things. All of us, we're looking at the news. We're hearing some things. And a Lakshmi moment has occurred just recently. I didn't want to say the name, but it's a Piff Daddy moment, right? We all know what this is. If you don't know it, you're not living here. You're living somewhere else. You don't know who Piff Daddy is? Cassie Ventura. Anybody hear about this name? Guys, showing up to temple to get the news is not a good thing. That means I got to. At any rate,
And we don't have Facebook.
this is not Facebook, this is CNN and this is CBC News. And even CP24. At any rate, Lakshmi is prosperity. Lakshmi is violence against women. This was a very violent episode, and he is now in hot water over this thing. But at times like this, there's attitudes to females. And I'm proud of the fact that in this tradition, most of the males, actually, in general, most of us have a great respect for the female population. In some other traditions, this does not happen. In this tradition, we're always saying, in a home, the female is the Lakshmi of the home. Where the female is abused, she's no longer the Lakshmi, she's the Lakshmi. Everything in Sanskrit that has an I in front of it means the reverse. This therefore is lack of beauty, it's lack of prosperity, it's lack of wisdom. Everything that relates to this name. Lakshmi is goddess of prosperity, goddess of wisdom. If you're behaving in a way that's the opposite of this, you're behaving in Lakshmi moments. So in this tradition, the female has always been held in high regard. Sometimes most of us male folks, we fall off the ladder, right? I've seen this happen in homes and so on where females are abused. Where such things happen, Pandit has said this many times when we're doing the Pauli Pujanti, where a female is well regarded, prosperity follows that home. Where a female is not well regarded, that home cannot prosper, right? Lakshmi summarily leaves that building or that home. She no longer wants to be a part of that home. So I brought this up because this is something, as we're following the career of Bhagwan Sri Ram too. In his time, Mother Sita does not walk behind him. She walks alongside him. This is the hallmark of the tradition, right? She walks with him. She, in a previous age, she might not have been allowed to do this, but in her time, these two avatars, they come down to show how the male-female relationship is supposed to proceed. And they show us, this is why I say there are guardrails that are set up long before we ever got here. We're supposed to abide by these guardrails because they're eternal pointers to human behavior. If we depart from these things, then we become, they say if even the pashu is better than you, right? You don't deserve to call yourself even a pashu when you behave like this. Pashu means an animal. Right? So there are these things that happen. And in this tradition, I hasten to add again, I must congratulate all the male members of our society. Instinctively, we know we're supposed to behave a certain way. So it's not, even though sometimes we fall off the ladder too, right? So we're not exempt from misbehavior in this regard. So what I'm advocating here is at all times, no matter what happens, females in this tradition and in this entire world are supposed to be treated in special ways. Like all the love songs we got, who do you think these love songs are made to or designed for? They're designed for the female, right? How many Hindi songs na got? Zulfa ki chal mein chehre, right? Even the female hair was regarded as something special, right? Meaning, every song you hear that got Zulfa in it, it's about hair. Every song that got Lata in it, as about the cords or the tresses in the hair, right? Lata hai CP, Jadu ka jal. The poets are giving us this thing in a special way, right? So sometimes they blow it though. Zulfa ki zanjira hai, you know. So that was a bad line. I think that was the only rhythm you could find at any rate when you're composing poetry. At the end of the day, this is what this tradition harbors. All the female deeds that we find, they're all Shaktis of their male counterpart. They are the power by which they progress. So I'm thankful that this tradition holds this kind of high, lofty position. Things have failed through history when we had Mughal rulers and so on, and we had so much kind of problems in the land that we come from. The point here is not to delve on that. The point here is to look at what the scripture is the injunction. The behavior that Bhagwan Sri Ram puts, this is what we follow to a large extent. Now, at the commencement speech, who doesn't know who Seinfeld is here? Not you. Come on, Seinfeld?
Jerry.
Jerry Seinfeld.
I was gonna say you don't need Facebook for Jerry.
Or he was invited to do a commencement speech. Okay, he did a commencement speech at Juke. Well, there was some misbehavior there because of this, because of what's happening in the current atmosphere. But what he had to say was very profound. In summary, he said, for all of us who are graduating and so on, and all of us living people, the thing that we should do the most is pursue mastery. This is what makes life fulfilling. You must pursue mastery in whatever discipline you are. So if you're a laborer, become the best laborer, do the best job there. If you're a musician, try to pursue mastery in this field. So each one of us, in whatever discipline we're in, you're supposed, only when you pursue mastery in that discipline and mastery in life. Actually, I remember because I use this at every yajna I have. Yudhishthira is having a discussion with Narad. And Narad tells him the purpose of religion is to make a man become master of himself. So the ultimate mastery is when you can master yourself. When your head tell you to do things that you don't want to do, you're your slave. You've become your slave. Your mind has enslaved you. Right? So we're always functioning between liberation and bondage. We have to find ways to work between these two. We must become masters of ourselves. This is something all the yogis tell us. Only when you can master your head space, you become a rishi. Until then, only then you become a yogi. When you're able to master this headspace can make you miserable and it can make you happy. So the thing is to learn to master it, to make yourself happy. Put away, there's a verse in the Bhagavad Gita, eradicate misery and replace it with happiness. So Seinfeld is talking here and he's talking about these things, and I want to look at a couple of verses. Today I will only read these things in English. I think I started something on Bhagavad Gita here and I wanted us all to participate in it. And actually I will do one verse because even the Beatles sung this verse, right? So if they sing it, we're supposed to know this verse, right? So I'll talk it out and we'll go through it, but there's a couple of verses I will read in English. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma. Sadhana, I see I'm boring you to death. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma palaheturabhu mate sangostva karmani karmanyevadhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma palaheturabhu mate sangostva karmani. Now this has been here a long time. Every RK movie you see, this verse is showing up on the thing, right? Every Raj Kapoor media, this verse is on the credits coming up, right? It's there. So what is Bhagavan Krishna saying here? And what is Seinfeld saying here? So where did he get this from? I'm sure he read this book. He said, seek to perform your duty, but lay not claim to its fruits. Be you not the producer of the fruits of karma. neither shall you lean towards inaction. So we say, action your duty, reward not your concern. This is what this verse translates to. Seek to perform your duty, but lay not claim to its fruits. Be you the producer of the fruits of karma, neither shall you lean towards inaction. So what Bhagavan Krishna is saying, don't look for the results of the action you have to do, but do the work that you're supposed to do. What is missing in this one verse is with whatever duty you perform, it has to be foundationed on dharma. It can't be of the adharmic type, right? So it has to, implicit in this verse is the idea of dharmic duty. Then he continues, these other verses I shall read in English. Perform action, O Arjuna, being fixed in yoga, renouncing attachment, and even-minded in success and failure. Equilibrium is verily yoga. There's another verse that says, that has this, but it slants this a little bit, and it says, inaction is really sin. Doing what you got to do is really blessings, right? If you disregard your duty or you shrivel up from your duty, that is what sin is. Perform action, O Arjuna, being fixed in yoga. So he's giving him a kind of discipline here. Renouncing attachment and being even-minded in success and failure. I even heard Musk say this, right? You're going to fail sometimes, right? You're going to succeed sometimes. But you're being even-minded when you succeed and when you fail. Really, you're more focused on what you're doing. Motivated karma, O Arjuna, is far inferior to that performed in the equanimity of mind. So the equanimity of mind means you're not worried about failing and you're not worried about succeeding. You're just worried about getting this thing done. When you're not between these two modes, liberation and bondage, right? Success and failure, you do your best work because you're not thinking of the results. You're more thinking of what you're doing. So take refuge in the even-mindedness of the mind. Wretched are the result seekers. The one fixed in equanimity of mind frees oneself in this life from vice and virtue alike. Therefore, devote yourself to yoga. Clincha here. Work done to perfection is verily yoga. We had something where we say yoga is many things. Work done to perfection is yoga. I want to close so this is what Seinfeld was saying when he made that commencement speech. He spent a little bit of time, he talked about it. And so there were many things he spoke about, but that's the one takeaway I brought from it. What you're going to do in this world, right? You just can't laze away. And this is what these verses are telling us as well. Do not laze away. Find things to do. Even-mindedness makes you become a master of whatever you're trying to do. Right? I think these two musicians here, they're not sitting down and saying, oh, this sound not good. They're trying to make this. They're trying to make the thing good. They're listening to us. They're trying to make our voice sound like, right? Make the music equipment sound like our voice. Even when they roll their eyes, they're still trying to do it. Right, so today I want to continue. I started this Ramayana. I'll stop there with this section of it. And I've been doing a part of the Ramayana here. And the purpose of doing this is to bring us all up to speed to a certain understanding of the basis of the Ramayana, right? So how did all these species of creatures come about? How did these Rakshas come about? So we spoke about that. We said when Brahma created this universe, he created these Rakshas. When you're doing your Tarpan ritual, I like to tell people the Tarpan rites that we do is really a recreation of this world. Sometimes the fact is that we're not sensitive enough to it, or the people who should be sensible and telling us about this, some of them don't know enough. This is not their fault too. This only comes by education. This comes by reading. So you need, just being a pandit doesn't mean you just do mantras. You're supposed to read and things as well, right? Reading is the biggest part of this job. So it's not that you have to read, but you must read. You must read because this is how we become better. When you study different topics, I think Stan and I were talking about left brain, right brain the other day. It has applications in all disciplines. So we're supposed to exercise both the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. Different subject matters do different things. So when I stopped last, I think where did I leave this? And I want to continue here. I want to guard my thoughts here and see where I left this out. When I left this, I think 392. I think so. This is where I went through. Give me a few seconds here. Let me get my thoughts. So the first great Rakshas was Sukesha. Sukesha has 3 sons: Mali, Sumali, Malyavan. We'll find Malyavan as well in the Tulsi Ramayana. We don't find Mali and Sumali because they get Lord Vishnu takes care of them. So all these Rakshas, they were given special boons, and immediately they get these phone is giving me trouble. Okay, then last time I spoke, they went to Vishwakarman, and Vishwakarman told them to go occupy a place called Lanka. This was a citadel that he created, beautiful citadel. And the way it's described in the Ramayana, it's a beautiful place, it's almost impregnable, nobody can get to it easily, right? So Vishwakarman had built this thing, and so Mali, Sumali, Malyavan, they with all their Rakshas, their spouses, their children, they went to occupy this city, and this is one of the most beautiful cities. It's a golden city. Up to today, if you Google this place, you see how beautiful it is, right? It's just a beautiful design. So, and all people up to this background, they swear that this is Vishwakarma's doing, right? Just like how Maya built Indraprastha in the Mahabharata, right? These are all great landmarks. People who see it, they marvel at it nowadays to see like what's been left of it. We're even talking about places like Dwarka and so on. Dwarka is something to see. But at any rate, so these 3 guys, having gotten all these powers, and they're now resident in Lanka. So they now start to harass the gods, the rishis, and so on. And so all these rishis and so on, they repair. You'll find this to be a very similar story to the stories you know. I'm kind of conscious of the time here. So they go first to Bhagwan Shiva. So these 3 Rakshas, Mali, Sumali, Malyavan, just remember these names. They go to Bhagwan Shiva because all these 3 guys, they've gotten various weapons, they've gotten various gifts, they've got a pushback cart and so on. So they're going about, they're ranging across the world, and they're doing very bad things. And they go to Bhagwan Shiva, and they say, "Oh Bhagwan, the sons of Sukesha, wrought up with pride on account of the boons they have received from the grandfather, they now are oppressing the children of the Lord of creatures. Our dwellings, which should be our refuge, no longer afford us shelter. Having driven the gods from the heaven, they now proclaim themselves in the roles of the gods. They say, I am Vishnu, I am Rudra, I am Brahma, I am the king of the gods, I am Yamaraj, I am Varuna, I am Chandra, verily I am Surya." Thus do Mali, Sumali, and Malyavan speak. Those Rakshas, formidable in combat, who harass us, as also those who precede them. We are terrified, O Lord, deliver us from fear. Right, this happens in the Ramayana, and it is set to great words. This one, of course, is set to Sanskrit slokas. Do thou assume a terrible form, and subdue these thorns in the sight of the gods. On this prayer, from the united gods, being addresses to Kapardin. Kapardin is one who wears a special hair knot. So Lord Shiva has a special one hair knot, and he's hence known by this name, Kapardin. So he says, in deference to Sukesha, he said, "I cannot destroy these Rakshas. I am not able to slay them, O ye gods, but I shall unfold to you how you may rid yourselves of them. This step having been taken, O Maharshis, go and seek refuge with Bhagwan Vishnu, who himself will destroy them." Thereupon, offering obeisance to Bhagwan Shiva, and with jubilant cries, they presented themselves before Bhagwan Vishnu, though filled with terror on account of those Rakshas, those rangers of the night. Bowing down to the great god, who bears the conch discus, they paid him great homage, and in trembling tones denounced the son of Sukesha, saying, Hail Lord, by virtue of the boons they have received, the three sons of Sukesha, like unto three fires, penetrated into our abode and took possession of it. Lanka is the name of that inaccessible citadel built on the summit of the Mount Trikuta. It is there that these rangers of the night, our persecutors, have established themselves. Come to our aid and slay them and destroy them. O slayer of Madhu, don't you remember Bhagavan Vishnu had to get rid of Madhu and Ketan? So this is one of his name as well, slayer of Madhu. We take refuge in thee, be our deliverer. O great Lord of the gods, do thou offer up their lotus-like faces severed by their discus to Yamraj. In time of peril, none but thee can give us shelter, O Lord. As the sun dispels the mist, so do thou dispel our terror in regard to these Rakshas, who with their adherents take delight in warfare. And when the Devas have spoken thus, that God of all gods, Janardhan, who strike terror in the hearts of his foes, reassure them, saying, the Rakshas Sukesha, who on account of the boons he has received from Brahma and Ishara, is intoxicated with pride, is known to me, and so are his sons, the eldest of whom is Malyava. Those Rakshas, the vilest of all, exceed all limits, and I shall exterminate them in my wrath, O ye gods, have no fear. So here, the guardrails of Dharma has been established a long time before. And this is what I mean. There's certain behavior that is called upon, right? We're supposed to behave in certain ways. The guardrails help us to, even with freedom of thinking, help to give us statutes by which to govern ourselves. When we go beyond this, like when we commit aggressive acts against females, when we harm kids and so on, these are acts, these are things that are against her. When whatever power we give him, we use this power to do bad things, these violate all the statutes of her. The animals of the world, they are given an even more restrictive guardrail. They can only function from this high point to this low point. Human beings can function to the highest point and to the lowest point. We can exceed and excel the animals. This is why they say, vidyahina, you become pashu, right? Without knowledge. Without what I mean as well as proper behavior, without proper conduct, right? Sanskrit word shila. So, Bhagavan Vishnu has now spoken to these devas. And I pick it up to where Agastya continues. And he's speaking here to Bhagwan Ram. There's a major battle that occurs. Bhagwan Vishnu puts on his armor and so on. So I don't want to get into the battle scene, even though I really enjoy it. Some of the things they tell me there, it's really fabulous. I remember seeing some of this in Lucas movies. Actually, I will look at some of these things and I will see some of this because it's really quite telling. Sometimes we have in the Hindu tradition, in the Jyotish aspect of it, there's called science of dreaming. And we all have some things about what dreams are good, what dreams are bad, what omens are good, what omens are bad. The Ramayana contains a litany of all these type of things. So all these guys, when they're going out to battle now, they're going to battle, they're going. So Bhagavan Vishnu has promised these devas that he will exterminate these Rakshas. And I just want to read this. Thereupon, at Kala's command, terrible portents appeared on earth and in the skies. The Mahabharata is full of this as well. This happens in the Ramayana as well. Foretelling the death of the Rakshas leaders. From the clouds, a torrent of hot blood and bones fell. The seas overpassed their bournes, this means their boundaries, and the mountains shook. Jackals of formidable aspect howled laughingly, emitting hoarse laughter that resembled the rumble of clouds. Groups of phantoms passed in succession, and flocks of vultures, vomiting flames, hovered like fate over the chief of the Rakshas. Red-footed pigeons and crows fled in all directions. Ravens croaked, and two-footed cats were seen. Anti-chat sarcasm this much problem? I'm only reading the Ramayana. So disregarding these omens, the Rakshas, proud of their strength, continued to advance without halting. Right, I remember when Vedvyas, when these 100 sons of Dhritarashtra was born, right? Remember he had all these things in oil embryos, right, in 100 jars. A similar kind of portent filled the area. But all these things are telling us is that here comes something really vile. But it will walk the face of the planet, and Bhagwan has to come to remedy it. So disregarding these omens, the Rakshas, proud of their strength, continue to advance without halting, caught in the noose of death. Malyavan, Sumali, Mali of immense power, proceeded the Rakshas like unto flaming braziers. Malyavan, who resembled Mount Malyavan, was escorted by all the rangers of the night as the gods by Dhatar. The army of the foremost of the Rakshas, thundering like massed clouds, eager for victory, advanced towards Devalok under Mali's leadership. So Agastya is telling this story, and he continues to Bhagwan Ram because this is all being told at the behest of Sri Ram. He's come back to Ayodhya, and he's asking questions. You mean Ravana was not the original dweller of Lanka? And so he's telling him all these stories. And so I'll close with this, a paragraph here, and then he says, O lotus-eyed prince, the Rakshas, having been repeatedly defeated in the battle by Hari, and having lost the most valiant of their leaders in their inability to withstand Vishnu, who was destroying them, abandoned Lanka and went to dwell in Patal Loka with their consort. O prince of the house of Raghus, those Rakshas, renowned for their strength, and who were the issue of the Salkatantaka race, remain under the leadership of Sumali. It was thou, he's speaking to Bhagwan Ram, it was you who did destroy those warriors of the family of Pulastya, named Sumali, Malyavan, Mali, and their companions, who were all exceedingly resourceful and were more powerful than Ravan. Right, in this battle, Bhagwan Vishnu did not come as an avatar. He came as himself, fully armed, right? All his quiver of arrows. If you read the battle scene, he's on Garud, and they call him, and Garud is there flapping his wings, and he's drawing air currents through all of these, through all of this, because he has to conduct Bhagwan Vishnu through all this maze of Rakshas. So the battle is set, and in this book, they take about an entire chapter to speak about this battle. What kind of weapons were launched. And in talking about these weapons, I think nowadays we're seeing weaponry, modern day weaponry, drones are doing things. And it reminds me that all of these astras that we're talking about here, they've come to life in a different way, right? Drones are going, people are commanding them from remote, from 1,000 miles away. People can command these drones to do things, to look. The drones have got cameras and so on. You can see what you're doing. So the weaponry that were being talked about here as marvels, these weapons have come to life in this new age. And they have very telling effects wherever they go. Because these weapons come with missiles that can demolish a city, right? So these weapons are there. So I continue here. It was you who did destroy these warriors. None other could have subdued these enemies of the gods, or have weeded out those in the sight of the celestials, save Narayan, the god who bears the conch, the discus, and the mace. Thou art the four-armed god. So here Agastya is telling him, reminding him who he is. And through the Ramayana, he has to act as a human being. He must do all the encumbrances that's of a human being. He must obey these laws, right? Because the role of the avatar, he himself has guardrails that he has to function with it, right? He can't function out of this. Whenever he goes out of this, he has to do it for a reason, right? Like crossing the ocean. That's one time he transgresses the bound of the Avtara concept. Thou art that four-faced God, Narayan, eternal, invincible, and immutable, who came to exterminate the Rakshas. Thou art the father of all beings, who whenever righteousness declines, and if this sounds like something you've heard before, it is for good reason. Thou art the Father of all beings, who whenever righteousness declines, and for love of those who take refuge in thee, dost appear to wipe out the evildoers. Right? The Bhagavad Gita tells us this. The entire, every Ram Navami, we do this kata. O Lord of men, I have related in detail all that concerns the origins of the Rakshas. Learn no further, O Prince of the Raghus, of immeasurable power of Ravan and his sons. For a long time, Sumali wandered about in the nether regions. Right, they've been driven out of Lanka. This is why Lanka became vacant. And we spoke earlier. Pulastya has a son named Vishravas. Vishravas has a son named Vaishravan, aka Kubir. Right? So Kubir is the grandson of Pulastya and is the son of Vishravan. So Sumali, when I continue the story, for a long time, are these Rakshas driven out of Lanka? Because this is what I'm saying here. Bhagavan Vishnu has driven them out of Lanka. So they've gone to Patal Lok. There they sought refuge amongst themselves, meaning they're living in a very lower plane. For a long time, Sumali wandered about the nether regions, tormented by the fear of Vishnu, whilst that mighty god of wealth, surrounded by his sons and grandsons, sojourned in Lanka. So these things I've told you before. If you didn't pay attention, maybe another time we'll come back to these things. But Kubir was asking his father, where is a place suitable for him when Brahma makes him the god of wealth, right? And makes him one of the Lokpal and one of the Dikpal. And his father tells him, go to Lanka. The Rakshas, formerly of Lanka, has been driven out of Lanka and they're now in Patal Lok. So all these guys, Mali has been killed, just Sumali and Malyo and Naveed, right? If I'm to tell the story correct. They're now in a very lower plane, and he's now, after many years, he's now going to venture forth and come back to Earth to see what's happening. And this is where the Ravan story, the origins of Ravan begins. Because he brings up, remember I told you earlier, Mali has the sons and daughters, Malyavan, same thing, Sumali. Sumali had a daughter, and her name I think is Kaikasi. And when I say Kaikasi, there's a name I want us all to say it properly. I think even I grew up the same way we used to say Kikahi. That name is wrong. It's K-K-E. Right? K-A-I-K-E-Y-I. K-K-E. Right, so this is, if we're going to say it, let's say it properly. So when we come back, we'll talk about how Ravan comes into play. And this will bring this katha to an end here this day. At this time, Prem se bolo Shri Krishna Kanaya Lala Bhagwan ki jai. Hari Om Shanti. Shanti. Pandit, please take us through.
I think Pandit really enjoys telling stories.
Why else read it?
They're good stories, they're background stories about how Rama came to be. As we all enjoy them, we can't remember the names, however, like everybody else. I want to thank all of you for coming today, those of you who are in person as well as online. And thanks to everyone who has made today's service possible. We have a few items here. I'm going to step too quick. Prakash, tell me before he has to leave at 12. Ganga Dashmi, June 16th. Next full moon is June 22nd. Upcoming events, July, full moon is July 21st. Raksha Bandhan, August 18th. And the full moon is the 19th. And Krishna Janmashtami, August 26th. And that one will be observing. Once again, thank you for spending your morning with us. Our service is on Facebook as well as YouTube. Check us out there when you get a chance if you didn't join us today. Thank you all very much for coming out today. I think that's about it for now. Let's stand for RT and closing. Oh, we want to ask Leela about Kevin. How is he doing?
He's back in the hospital.
For what?
He's losing the red blood.
Oh man, I was sorry to hear that. Let's put a prayer in for him to recover quickly. Om Tat Chakshurdevahitam Purastat Shukram Ucharat Vashyema Sharanashatam Jivema Sharanashatam Srinayama Sharanashatam Prabhama Sharanashatam Adinashama Sharanashatam Bhuyascham Sharashatat Om Shanti 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 Hari Om.
Yesterday was his birthday.
Abi?
Yesterday.
Yesterday, oh, wish him well for us. Thank you, let's start party. Okay, go then.
Om Jai Shri Radha, Radha Radha, Jai Shri Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Shri Radha Krishna Rama, Shri Radha Krishna Rama. Om Jai Shri Radha, Radha Radha, Jai Shri Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Shri Radha Krishna Krishna
काक्षं सर्वपापोहरि मन्त्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दनं यत् पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णं तस्मै वरवरवरमङ्गलं हरिश्रीं श्रीरं हरिसर्वजनपालिनी भक्ति सदा सत्संगस्य रामचंद्र की जय शरणं प्रभु उमापति महादेव की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय श्री रामचंद्र की जय शरणं प्रभु ओम गुरु ब्रह्मा गुरु विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वर गुरु साक्षात् परम ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः ओम ज्ञान शांति अंतरिक्षं शांति पृथ्वी शांति आत्मा शांति वनस्पति शांति